Hi, my name is Meg Edwards and I am a GTD coach. And recently, a person posted on our YouTube channel, could you please do some videos for people that are really new to GTD, that haven't even really started? I know that much of my content is really for people that have been using GTD and may be stuck in some places or maybe need some clarity on some parts of GTD. So what I thought that I would do today, which would benefit anybody that knows about GTD, is to kind of take a step back and try to put GTD in a perspective of what we call the 5 I's. I learned this from David Allen many, many years ago. I'm not quite sure where he got it from. But for me, it made all the difference of understanding where I was in my GTD journey. The first one is inspiration. I mean, most people, by the time they've come to us, they're inspired. They've learned about GTD in one way or another. And then there's the instruction, right? So you get it from the book. You may take a seminar or do coaching or go on the internet to learn about GTD. You know, many different ways that people learn about what the Getting Things Done methodology is. The 5 phases of workflow: capture, clarify, organize, reflect, and engage. The higher horizons, the ground level, project level, areas of focus level, goals, vision, and purpose level, and the natural planning model. Those are the main components of the Getting Things Done methodology. So there's instruction, it's learning what it is. But then there's installing it. Okay, this is where David said in his book, roll up your sleeves, give yourself a couple of days to set this up. I'll come back to that. After you've installed it, then you're implementing it, you're practicing GTD with all its components. And then you're integrating it where you're just making it second nature. You don't even think about capturing. You don't think about finding the time in your calendar to clarify and organize your work. It's just second nature for you to do reflecting time in your reviews. And engaging prioritization is very highly kind of intuitive. And you've integrated GTD, which can take up to 2 years, just like, you know, we talk about if you wanted to be proficient in a language or an instrument, it's going to take you a couple of years to be proficient in that. So those are the 5 I's. What is really interesting is the installing GTD, right? So it's like, what does that mean? Well, think about your calendar. You have found a calendar that you like, whether it's on paper, whether it's electronic. You might have several calendars because you might have a work calendar, you might have a calendar for your family, whatever. You've chosen a tool to use. And then you install it. It's your external brain. It's your trusted system. I've populated it with all of my commitments. Could also be information, could be FYIs. You know, that's the best practice of the calendar. So you've installed it, you've implemented, and then you've integrated it where you don't even think twice about using it. It's just second nature. But then what about all these other parts of organization? Your project list, project plans, your next actions list, which can also be several next actions list, your errands list, your next actions of things you need to do personally, professionally, your agendas, things you need to talk to people about, your waiting for list, and that's actionable, right? So these are places where you're putting actionable commitments. And then your non-actionable, which is your reference and your someday maybe and your tickler. So when you are installing GTD, you are picking a tool outside of your calendar, whether it's paper or whether electronic, and you're starting to install your projects, your next actions, your things that you need to talk to people about, your errands, your waiting fors, maybe your someday maybes, so that when you're going to review your systems to do work, you're looking at your calendar for those things that you have to do that day. And then you're looking at your trusted tool. Like, for example, I use OmniFocus. And I did 2 videos using OmniFocus, one for actionable items and one for non-actionable items that you might want to go back and take a look at because you can translate that to any tool. I show you how I organize my projects, but you can use that as a template for any tool that you want to use, or where I put my project plans or my next actions, my talk tos and my waiting fors and my errands. So that's, installing it. And once you have it populated enough, then you're just practicing, capturing things, and then clarifying and organizing it into your calendar and your next actions lists, into your calendar and whatever tool or tools that you're using, because sometimes it can't just be in one place. And then the way that you keep it going is the weekly review. You've got to keep it clean and current. So we recommend at least once a week to just get it current. Clean it up, clean up your calendar, clean up your next actions list, clean up your project list. And then so that you have a trusted place to review, to prioritize, to engage. And what I find helpful is that when I'm working with any client, I'm assessing where they are within their GTD practice. And then for those people that are inquiring about coaching, they're going to go into one of our programs that match the 5 I's. So we have the foundation, which is working on installing it. We have the strategy, which is working on implementing it, being more strategic and implementing GTD. And then we have integration, where you're integrating your whole practice. But then we also have the Higher Horizons coaching, which is our vision and refocus, which is working on the higher horizons, the goals, vision, and purpose. And then we have the 2-year program because, as David says, for many people, this takes 2 years, and there are a group of people that really want to commit to 2 years. I'm just letting you know that you can go ahead and think about, where am I in the 5 I's? Maybe you're just really in the inspiration and instruction. You're really just learning about GTD. You're reading the book. You may go on our YouTube channels, or you may just Google GTD. There are lots of different ways that you get instruction. Coaching for many people is just the fast track to install and implement and integrate GTD. But I think that what you can do is just say, where am I within my GTD practice? And then what are the things that I need to do to navigate and master that phase? So if you haven't fully installed GTD, it's going to be hard to do your weekly reviews. If you've installed GTD, but you're not implementing it, maybe that's a chance to do your weekly reviews. If you are working on integrating it, it's pulling all of that together on a more conscious level. So I hope that you find this helpful. We will then continue with some future videos for beginners, but I wanted just to kind of lay out the framework. I know that when I was introduced to the 5 I's, I'm like, oh, that is so helpful for me personally, and also for other people to kind of know where they are on the GTD journey. For more GTD resources, please visit gettingthingsdone.com and David Allen's YouTube channel. For more information on GTD coaching, please email us at info@gtdfocus.com or visit our website at gtdfocus.com.